How you doing? Everybody good? All right. First of all, thank you all for being here. It's always exciting for me to see the media, a ton of you show up for these, and just your level of commitment to what we do, your excitement for it, and your interest in it. So thank you very much. I want to thank the WWE and Universe in general just for all of this. This has been a hell of a ride, and getting to this moment. And it's weird in some way because tonight almost felt like a WrestleMania, with WrestleMania 6 weeks away, and that's a really exciting but a really odd feeling, creatively, to have something this big, this epic, this monumental happen right before you do something even bigger, even more epic, even more, special. So, I want to thank the WWE Universe because they really are the ones that get us to this place, each and every one of them. I'll thank our talent. A lot of breakout performances for me tonight. And, sometimes you do big events and you're impressed with what talent do. I very rarely am not. Tonight was one of those nights where I feel like, man, everybody just came with their A game on. Performances were A++ across the board. Everybody came to deliver as if they had a statement to make, and that's always makes these kind of events even more special from top to bottom. But I especially want to thank the Bell Center here and especially the city and the people of Montreal. When a crowd is the star of your event, you're onto something special. When the crowd, the city, the reaction, the people, when we can't take enough crowd shots, when that is what we're looking at, and the place from start to finish, before the first match ever hit the ring till the last person left that arena, it was electric. There were moments even behind at gorilla position where the crowd was almost deafening. That is something special, and I really can't thank everybody here enough. So this was the largest WWE gate in Montreal history. So really something big here. We had a sellout crowd of 17,271 in attendance. And that is coming off of last night with well over 15,000 here. So just a spectacular 2 nights. When we left last night, we were saying, holy cow, I don't know how this crowd can be any hotter than it was tonight. But it really was, by far. Tonight was something amazing and special. We set new records for the largest gate, also set records for the most viewers in Elimination Chamber history. So tonight was a big night. But really, there's a lot more than numbers. Montreal showed once again that it is one of the premier WWE cities in the world. Their love, passion, excitement for what we do is truly second to none. And beyond that, for me, and this is something that I'm very passionate about, it was a very historic night. This was about Carpentier. This was about Vachon. This was about the Rougeaus. This was even about Kowalski, the people that made that passion for what we do over generations get us to where we are today. This was about the Hart family. This was about Brett. And it was really about Pat Patterson. I could feel him up there. I could feel him up there in this moment in Montreal with tears in his eyes, sitting there. It was something special that he would have enjoyed. Really would have. He would have said, God damn it, that is the business. The people were going nuts. It was so, right. I cannot stop crying. It would have, I mean, I'm just telling you, he would have been impressed. It was something special. Every match tonight delivered everything. I think the women's match was one of the greatest women's elimination chambers I've ever seen. The men's, a lot of breakout stars. Bronson Reed had a spectacular night. Johnny Gargano, spectacular night. Austin Theory, spectacular. And everybody else that was in there. Damian Priest, right? Seth Rollins doing what he does, which is better than just about anybody on this planet. And then, a moment from Logan Paul, who I got to say was just seemingly just born to do this. Just everything he does is right. On all levels. So amazing night. And then, of course, Roman and Sammy, Jimmy, Jay, Heyman, just Kevin, icing on the cake. Just electric and something special. Can't say enough about them, and I really can't say enough about Sami Zayn. Just a really special performer that, in some ways, not always, but in some ways reminds me so much of like a Mick Foley, in that his connection to a crowd. 1 minute can make you laugh. The next minute you can have so much sympathy for him. He connects on such an emotional level that I think it's hard to put into words, and it makes it something really special. Just an amazing, amazing performer. Can't say enough good stuff about that. And then, of course, we're headed into the biggest WrestleMania that there's ever been. 42 days away, just 6 weeks. It's hard to believe, but here we are. We'll be at SoFi Stadium 2 nights, and as special as tonight was, I can't wait to get there. It's going to be incredible. So I'll open it up to you, and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll start off right here in the back.
Great. Thank you. Keith Whittier with Ottawa Life Magazine.
Hey, Keith.
Originally, I was going to ask you in terms of how you, after all of these years, if you still take time to appreciate it, but you've already answered that, so thank you. But what I want to ask you is this. Being a great player doesn't always make you a great coach. Being a great performer doesn't always make you a great executive, but your transition has been seamless and has been excellent, and there's been nothing but rave reviews for that. And with a lot of your creative that you're looking after now, what do you attribute that to in terms of being able to transition from being somebody who's on camera to somebody who's behind camera and still do it at that same excellent level that everyone's used to?
Well, one, thank you for the kind words. I don't know that everybody agrees with you, but you're never going to make everybody happy. Man, I think it's the same things that make you great on the other side are the same things that made you great as a performer, and it's passion. And if there's ever anything that I felt like I had, and not to say that I was great, but if there's ever anything that I had, to me, it was passion for this. I never thought of it in any other way of just leaving everything you had out there every night. I see it in the performers that are here, from top to bottom, from Roman Reigns all the way down, just the passion that everybody has for this. And quite honestly, at this level, if you don't have that passion for it, you don't make it. So I think that when you have that and it never goes away, I see guys sometimes lose it. I see them as being incredibly passionate for it at one point in time, and then slowly over time it diminishes. It's never diminished for me. I feel like the same little kid at 5 or 6 years old or whatever that was watching Chief Jay Strongbow for the first time and thinking this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, all through growing up, and then getting into the business and getting here and everything that I saw doing it and being a part of it. I still think to this day, when this is done well, it is the absolute greatest form of entertainment on the planet. People do not have the emotional connection, to me, to almost anything else that they have for this when it is done well, for the WWE, when it is done well, for the storylines, when it is done well, for people to lose themselves in that moment, in that story, in what they are witnessing, in the roar of that crowd, and how much people just lose themselves in it. There was nobody thinking about anything else in that building tonight during that main event than what they were witnessing in front of them. I don't know, there's nothing else like that in the world. Like even the biggest sports events in the world that I've been to, you see people drifting off. They're watching different things. They're on their phone texting. It connects you, and it ebbs and flows, right? If we have a 3.5 hour show and something is bad for 5 minutes, we never hear the end of it. I mean, it's unbelievable. The passion that people have for this and that connection is like, it's like nothing else. If you ever want to convince somebody that WWE is where it's at, whether it's a business, whether it's a sponsor, whether it's anything, or whether just a friend of yours that you think like, I bet you they would like this if they gave it a shot. If you bring them to a live event, there's no way somebody wouldn't have left here tonight saying like, holy shit, I have to come back to that. It's passion.
In the back.
Hi, Brandon Thurston, WrestleNomics. I was wondering your thoughts on a potential WWE sale. Is that something that you were in favor of before Vince made his return in January, and is that something you're in favor of now?
Depends on who's buying, I suppose, what the offer is, what the outcome is. I'd stay out of it, to me, and that's not a cop-out answer. I have the greatest gig in the world. I helped tonight in some small way create the magic we did here tonight, and to me, it's the best gig on the planet. As long as we get to do this, as long as we get to create it the way we get to create it, as long as we get to do our jobs and we get to go out there and put our passion on display, as long as our talent are allowed to put their passion on display and do what we do, I'm good. I'm good. It is what it is.
And last question.
Hi, Paul. Guillaume Lefrançois of La Presse.
You from here?
From here, yep. I was just wondering, when you get a wrestler who has a reaction like Sammy had Friday night, and then you're back in the same building the next day with pretty much the same crowd, to what extent does it change any creative plans for the next night, and whether it's the time you allow it or the way you book it or whatnot?
So it's interesting. I think for the average person or the average performer, if they were there the night before, they get a huge reaction. Somewhere in my mind, I would expect like tomorrow will be good. Might not be quite what it was tonight because they haven't seen him for a long time. Tonight's the first night. Tomorrow's going to be sort of the second time, and maybe a lot of the same people, maybe not. But so it won't. If it's the same, it'll be great. But if it's slightly less, really good. I don't know. For me tonight and last night, even just seeing the reaction that everything got, that Sammy got, I don't know. I had no doubt. I thought, man, as good as that was tonight, he is going to blow the roof off this place tomorrow. And when they see Roman, those very special chants they were doing are going to be deafening. Like, I don't know. It's a feel. Pat Patterson, and I brought him up before, obviously, but Pat used to always say, I sometimes can't articulate it. It's just a feel. This is what's going to happen, and I know it. It's a feel. I can't tell you why. It's just my gut, right? Go with your gut. It was a feel, man. Last night, I watched Sammy. I watched everything that happened, and I thought tomorrow's going to destroy this. It's going to be at another level, and it was. It's just a feel, and when again, to go back to the passion thing, when you have that passion for it, and it's in your soul. It's not coming from here. It's coming from here. And when you have that and you just feel it, I don't know. I just felt it. I knew what it was going to be tonight, and thankfully I was right. It just Sammy blew the roof off this place. It was spectacular.